Hello and welcome to today's demo. We are gonna be reviewing together a new tool launched by Google, which is called Interview Warmup. As the name suggests, is a quick way to prepare for your next interview with the help of AI. And I've been testing it for the past few weeks. Really like the experience, very easy to use. So today we're gonna demo through it together and I will let you know how to access it. It's very easy. It's available today for you to try it out. So basically the tool has a really simple UI, right? It's kind of two steps. The first step is deciding which field you want to practice today on, right? So it has 7 different options, as you can see, ranging from data analytics, digital marketing, IT support, project management, UX design, cybersecurity, and more general questions. So as you can see, it kind of covers most of the really on-demand jobs that are available today. So just taking project management as an example, once you click on it, you will be prompted to answer 5 interview questions, right? And here you have 2 options. One is you can just get started, or second, let's say you have used the tool a couple of times and you want to review all the questions that are available. You can just click there and basically see what are all the 42 questions that we have available in all 3 types. So background, situational, and technical. Okay, if you want a description of what each of these categories means, you can just click on the label and it will show you what they are, why the interviewers asked them, what are some tips, etc., etc. And the same with situational and then background questions. In a nutshell, background is for questions about your past experience and past education. Situational are fictional or non-fictional situations you have handled recently. And then the technical ones are related to the specific skills that you will have to use on a daily basis if you were to pick this role that you are interviewing for. Okay, so if that's clear, we can just go back to program management, and in this time we're gonna click on 5 questions and get started. So I'll just respond quickly to these 5 questions. My advice is for you to actually take your time to think about these questions and then answer them. Why? Because this is gonna mimic the real case scenario of your interview. What's gonna happen is after you have answered all of these 5 questions, you're gonna get live feedback for you to analyze and review, copy your answers, etc. Okay, so without further ado, let's just get started. So as you can see here, we see kind of the question title, we see the question type, in this case is background. I would strongly suggest for you to review what a background question is. And what I'm going to do now is just answer this question quickly for you to see later what's going to be the feedback. Okay, you can also type your answer, but I would strongly recommend practicing live as I'm going to do now, because this is what you're going to do during the interview day. So I'm now going to click on answer and you're going to see me answer the question live. So I think I would be a good fit for this role for 3 specific reasons. 1, because I have a clear sense of ownership. Whenever I take on a project, either to lead it or to contribute to it, I really feel that I am the owner of the project and I should be responsible for my actions. The second is because I am a strong team player. I really like to work in teams, is where I achieve the most, and program management type of roles involve a lot of team activities. And third, because I am very organized. I really like to keep my tasks, my assets up to date, shareable with anyone that wants to access them. So I'm done. I just click on answer the question. I can edit the answer here, and here you can see basically what my answer was, but I'm happy with it. So let's just go for the next one. So this question is situational, meaning it's a fictional situation where I have to work on two projects simultaneously, and then the question is, how do we prioritize it? How do I handle it? So if I'm working in two projects simultaneously, the first thing I would do is to understand which project is prioritized from a business perspective, which one is most urgent from my business perspective, and go from there. So super short answer here, should be longer, but as I mentioned, this is just for demo purposes. So in this case, as you can see, it's a technical question, meaning it's related to the job role that I'm going to be performing if I get the role. So if I'm in charge of this particular project, the first thing that I would do is put in place a document tracker documenting what are the tasks that have to be done in order to achieve it, what's the long-term vision of the project, and what are the owners per task and next step, so everyone is aware what they have to do next, as well as if there are any issues or challenges to move forward. All right, next question. So again, this is technical. I'll give a super short answer. I think a project is defined by 4 specific aspects. First, it has to be a clear scope, detailing what's in scope for the project and most importantly, what's out of scope. The second, it's a project if you have a team behind it. So who is going to be doing what inside the project, within the project, sorry. 3, there has to be some clear budget aligned to it. And 4th, there has to be a clear timeline. So this has to be done by when. So now we have the last question. So as you can see, this is another example of a situational question, but this time is something that I have lived in the past, something that I have experienced, okay? I remember a situation 2 years ago where I was talking with a couple of customers and I completely miscommunicated what we were envisioning to do next with them. So I communicated poorly and made the impression that the next step was for us instead of for the customer, and the customer got the impression that the next step was the same, so for us and not for the customer. While we were waiting for the customer to take action, they were asking us to take action, and then things didn't move as quickly as we should. How did I correct the situation and send an email? I apologized, and then we took it from there. Okay, so I've done the interview, the 5 questions, and now the cool thing is I'm gonna get live feedback from the tool, right? Again, it's using AI to see what are the job related terms that I have used, and here I can see what are the terms that I should be using: management, ownership, program, project, role, etc., etc. what are some of my most used works. For example, I can see that I use really. Maybe I should be using really a bit less times. And where are the talking points that I actually should be talking about? Okay, so some about the experience, the skills, the goals, the interests, etc., etc. And the same for all the other questions. And the cool thing is I get to copy the answer, I get to redo it here, or I can even download the whole thing and get to do it again. So I would strongly recommend for you to try this out. It's a very powerful tool just to get a bit more confident with interviews, to see what the process may look like. You can practice any times you want, and I think it's a great tool for you to use. So thank you for listening.